The relationship between Canada and the United States has always been very important for both countries. They are neighbors who share the longest border in the world. For many years, this friendship has been strong, built on shared history, values, and a deep economic partnership. Millions of dollars in goods and services cross the border every single day, making their trade relationship one of the most significant in the world. This connection helps create jobs and prosperity for people on both sides. The two nations have worked together on security, environmental issues, and global challenges, acting as close allies for generations. However, this historic alliance has recently faced serious challenges. Friendly feelings have been replaced by tension and uncertainty. The main cause has been words and actions coming from the United States, particularly from President Donald Trump. His approach to trade and international relations diverged from past presidents. He questioned long-standing agreements. The tension reached an unprecedented level when President Trump started talking about annexing Canada. Annexation means one country taking over another country. For many people, the idea was shocking and unbelievable. Not something anyone expected from the leader of Canada's closest friend. Mr. Trump repeatedly insisted the U.S. should annex its northern neighbor. These were not small trade disagreements. They challenged Canada's very existence as an independent nation. The language changed the conversation and sparked deep anger across Canada. In response, Carney took a firm stand. He made it clear, Canada was not for sale and would not be bullied. Canada is a proud, sovereign country. He vowed to defend Canada's interests without apology. It was exactly what many Canadians wanted to hear. They wanted a leader who would not back down. But the war of words made the atmosphere volatile. Even if not a serious plan, annexation talk was deeply offensive. The relationship fell into a very big hole. Cooperation got harder. Even on security, trust was eroding. When Carney won, many saw it as a direct result of the conflict. His promise to confront Trump resonated with voters who felt threatened. After winning the election, one of Carney's first tasks was to meet President Trump. The meeting was highly anticipated on both sides of the border. Everyone watched to see how they would interact after an acrimonious war of words. He had won vowing to take on President Trump, so he had to remain firm. He carried Canadians' anger and pride into the room. On the surface, it was friendly. Trump even complimented Carney on his win. Beneath the politeness, each held firm positions. Carney delivered a clear message. Canada would not be pushed around. Trump stayed aligned with America first. The friendly tenor could not hide deep disagreements. Carney had to walk a very fine line. He needed to be strong and assertive, keeping his promise. But Canada's economy depends on a stable U.S. relationship. He rejected annexation, defended Canadian trade practices, and sought common ground. Goal: protect sovereignty without triggering a trade war. The meeting tested his diplomacy, and he held his own. He did not back down, while keeping lines open. It was a first step to dig out of a very big hole. A major conflict point was tariffs. Tariffs are taxes on imported goods. The U.S. placed tariffs on Canadian goods, and Canada retaliated with tariffs on American products. Tit for tat hurt businesses and raised tensions. Finding a solution became a top priority. Carney surprised many by dropping many retaliatory tariffs, matching new U.S. exemptions under USMCA. He called it a positive step to de-escalate. He argued it would restore normal trade flows. Some politicians and unions called it capitulation. They feared losing leverage before U.S. tariffs were gone. Then Trump said he had a very good call with the Prime Minister.
Trump in the Oval Office. We want to be very good to Canada. I like Carney a lot. I think he's a very good person.
The tone shifted, suggesting Carney's risky strategy might work. Carney announced a generational investment in Canada, centered on ports. Ports are trade gateways connecting Canada to the world. Bigger, faster, more efficient, core to competitiveness. Contrecoeur, a new terminal to handle over 1 million extra containers per year. Facing U.S. tensions, Carney looked for allies and opportunities. Strengthening ties with Mexico became key. He went seeking common ground and partnerships. Mexican officials were eager to plug into Canada's port expansion, including the new terminal at Contrecoeur. Improved ports could route more goods directly between the two countries, bypassing some complexities of U.S. routes. They discussed dedicated facilities for Canada-Mexico trade. It would make trade faster, cheaper, more efficient, benefiting businesses and workers on both sides. Closer Mexico ties also increased Canada's leverage with the U.S., but a weak link threatened it all. no dedicated port police force.
Experts warned, ports lack a single specialized agency.
Local forces often lack resources and training for complex ports. Criminals increasingly exploit the gap, smuggling drugs, weapons, contraband. It fuels crime and harms Canada's reputation as a safe trading partner. U.S. officials noticed, worried about continent-wide risks.
They fear illicit flows, or worse, via Canadian ports.
Port security could become a stumbling block in future USMCA talks.
Fixing port policing is essential, domestically and for U.S. confidence.
It underpins Canada's trade relationship and prosperity.